Shalom. First and foremost, I begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakwakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to this truth with heart sincerity. All right, and may the blessed election be upon your houses. All right, the topic of this lesson is going to be a quick little breakdown, a read through of Daniel, the second chapter. I'm gonna go from verse 31 to 45, and this is going into the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. Going into that breakdown of the statue and what that dream meant. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. This is Daniel, the second chapter, verse 31, and it reads, "Thou king sawest, and behold, a great image. The great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible." Right, and that image you saw was was that statue, right? The statue of Nebuchadnezzar, right? And matter of fact, before I even continue on, I'm going to just show the picture of the statue. All right, this was the statue. Image of the representation of the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had with the statue, and we're going to go into that. All right. Verse 32, "The image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay." All right, so when we go here, we see that, right? The head of gold, right? And then we see the from on down, you see the different metals, so forth, right? The silver, the brass, the iron, the iron and part clay at the feet, and that iron is a reference, like that gold is a representation of the Babylonian Empire from the head, right? And then when you go down to the silver, right, that is a representation of the Medo-Persian Empire. And then on down to the brass, that is a representation of the Greek Empire. And into the iron, right, that is a representation of the Roman Empire. And then down at the feet where it says the iron mixed with clay, that is a representation of, pretty much the Roman Empire reincarnated, the EU, right, the European Union. All right, let's continue on, right? Let's go back to it. Verse 34, "Thou sawest till that was a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them into pieces." So in the dream, Nebuchadnezzar saw the stone, right? The stone basically hit the statue at his feet and broke it down, right? And that stone is a representation of Yahweh Shai. All right, because Yahweh Shai is ultimately going to be, taking these basically kingdoms out of rulership, right? The final kingdom out of rulership, right? Which is the kingdom that we are in right now, which is that iron and clay. All right, and ultimately going to establish the kingdom of the Most High. All right, verse 35, "Then was the iron and clay, the brass, the silver, and the iron broken to pieces together, and became like the shaft of summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth." All right, so ultimately, again, going back to what I just said, right? So that stone, basically destroying that statue is really Yahweh Shai, taking rulership. All right, establishing the kingdom of the Most High. All right. Verse 36, "This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king." Right now this is going to be where Daniel goes to the explanation and interpretation of the dream unto Nebuchadnezzar. All right, so from verse 31 to 35 was Nebuchadnezzar, telling, the dream, right? And Daniel was interpreting the dream from 36, on down. Now let's read, right? Verse 36, "This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the Most High of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven hath he given into thine hand, and had made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold, right? So Daniel's letting Nebuchadnezzar know, right? Ultimately, right, that power, the kingdom, the strength, the glory he has, that's all given to him from the Most High, right? So he's letting him know that gold head is his empire, his kingdom, right? That Babylonian empire, right? Because he was the ruler of the, Babylonian empire. Okay, continuing on, verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth, right? Going to the Medo-Persian Empire and the Greek Empire, right? With Alexander the Greek. All right. Verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. Right? I want to go back real quick, to the image of the statue, right? Because we already went through the head, right? Went through the silver and brass. Now we are at the legs, right? Which is iron, right? And that iron, again, going back to the Roman Empire, right? That is a representation, that iron is a representation of that Roman Empire military might, all right? Because, even to this day, right, they are still speaking about, the Roman Empire military, right? They were very well known for their, I guess you could say, innovative ways of military, right? They had a very strong military, conquering a lot of nations, they had, the different Caesars and so forth, right? So that Roman Empire was a powerhouse at that time to be reckoned with. A lot of other nations and countries, didn't even want to go toe to toe with the Roman Empire, man. Okay, they had, innovative weaponry, innovative military tactics. So their military was a real force, during that time. All right. Let's see, where was I? I'm gonna read verse 40 again. The fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. Right? Again, going into the Roman Empire. All right, and this military force. Verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with merry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Right? The EU, right? The original EU, I could say, consisted of 10 different countries, right? 10 different nations, right? And some of these nations, are strong, whether it's strong financially or strong with their military force. You got other nations that are, weak financially and weak with their military force. So hey, that's where you get that partly strong and partly broken, right? So that feet, the feet and toes that's mixed with iron and clay, goes into that EU, verse 43. And whereas thou sawest the iron mixed with merry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave unto another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the Most High, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever, right? So ultimately, when the kingdom of the Most High is established, right, when the kingdom of Yahshua is established, right, when, this final kingdom that we are in, right, that iron mixed with clay, right, that final kingdom that we are in is completely dismantled by that stone, which is Yahweh Shai, when he comes and, takes these devils out of rulership and takes back the planet Earth and establishes that righteous kingdom, all right, it's going to last forever. It's going to be eternal, all right? It's going to be forever and ever, all right? the final and everlasting kingdom. All right, it's going to be a kingdom of the Most High, the kingdom of Yasharallah. All right, verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut off of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Right, so again, just basically, Dan's telling Nebuchadnezzar that, hey, this is what's gonna happen, man. Right, this is certain for sure. This is truly what your dream means. This is the true interpretation of your dream. And we are seeing the times that we're in, we're seeing that, that this is getting ready to happen. We're seeing the chess pieces getting put into its proper courses, proper places, in other words to say. All right. But hey, this is what's about to go down. This is just a quick, breakdown, going to the second chapter, going to that dream that Nebuchadnezzar had of the statue, and, the interpretation or the meaning of what that dream meant. But hey, nevertheless, this was edifying to the elect of Israel. With that being said, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace, blessings, salutations to the elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening to this truth with heart sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and above all, Kwam Yasharallah, shalom.